Hello, I'm Josh Evers, and tonight we're going to talk about nursing superstitions. Sorry, I'll back up a little bit. You're a bad lib with Josh? Number one, we'll just get this one out of the way. The Q word. Quack, quack, quack. You can't say that. The Q word or the S word. The S word is oh, it's slow. You can't say that. Which I don't know. I don't really believe this. I don't do it just because if something happens after, then I'm going to get blamed for it. Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm not very superstitious, I don't think. I won't put on a sock if it's inside out until I put it back in my drawer. You're weird. Number two is a full moon. How? Now, this one is very popular. I don't want to say that it's not true, but I think that if you didn't know it was a full moon outside, then you wouldn't know it was a full moon outside. I think it's kind of a placebo effect. That's just me. I just don't know how a little bit brighter moon can cause us to have more detox patients or whatever. All right. And number three, and by the way, these are in no particular order. In number three is bad things come in threes. Uno, dos, tres. If you've had a couple things happen throughout the night, whatever, rapid responses, whatever, and it's like 5 a.m. and only two bad things have happened, does that mean a third thing's going to happen? It might. I don't know. What do you guys think? I've never even heard of that one. I've heard of celebrities dying in threes, and that one's 100% true. You can look up statistics or whatever, which I do. Look up dead celebrity statistics. Number four is leave a window open. Y'all better shut that door. I'm not paying to heat the outside. So I guess this is talking about whenever a patient passes, you're supposed to leave a window open so that their soul can get out. Boo. So there's a lot of things with this. I'd never worked in a hospital that had windows that could open. They're all locked. There's been many a times where I've been like sweating, wishing I could open a window. Actually, I used to work in a hospital where they had converted they converted a room into, what was it? It was a supply closet or something like that. And way in the back behind one of the big shelves, there was a window and it was broken and you could feel a cool breeze coming in through it. And you would go and kind of wedge yourself between the wall and the cabinet and get a cool breeze. And I heard somebody was smoking out there or something. Crazy people. Anyway, yeah, I've heard of this before. It's like, I'm pretty sure this is hundreds of years old. I think that they used to do this back in the colonial days or whatever. Number five is easy stick. Yeah, put a 20 in the left AC. So talking about setting yourself up for failure, saying that the patient's an easy stick, or maybe it's if the patient says they're an easy stick. I don't know, but I never have this problem because I am like 100% on IVs. I never miss, so I can never set myself up for failure. That's not true. No, actually, I remember it was so funny. Throughout nursing school, I was 100% on IVs. I was so good. And then once I start working in the hospital, it's like, I don't know. The IVs were different or something. I just couldn't do it. And it took a couple of years for me to get good at IVs. I ended up being pretty good. I think it took for when I was training people. They say like what do they say? They say something like the best practice is teaching or something like that. There's a saying. If you know that saying, comment it, please. Anyway, I hear this one all the time. And I don't know. I think this could go in any direction in any part of your life. You can be a little bit too confident and set yourself up for failure. But yeah. Okay, number six is never order food during a shift. Everybody shut up. Food's here. Do what? Is that why it's been so terrible for all these years? Because that's what we do. Nom, 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 nom. We order food. That's like you come in thinking, what are we going to order tonight? What are you guys ordering? Who's ordering? Who's going out to get it? That's our thing. We order food. It makes us feel good. Even if we bring our lunch, we order food. So if that one's true, we don't care. Thank you. Okay, number 7. Are you guys ready for this one? Because if there's anyone on this list that's true, even more than the Q word, it is this one. And that is never say a frequent flyer's name. Guess who's in the ER? That is 100%. You could be telling a story and it's about, oh, this patient did, it's always like the worst story, and it's to get shock value or something like that. And you're telling that story and then you're like, you remember who I'm talking about? And they're like, don't say their name. Don't even say it. And it's like, oh, I'm not going to say it. Or you see them in the ER and you're like, oh, guess who's down in the ER? You see it on the computer. It's like, don't say their name because no kidding. You say the name and they will be up there. You say the name, they'll be up there the next day. You tell the story and you mention them. It's crazy. Even as a home health nurse, I would drive by a patient's house, like an old patient. I'd think about them. I'd be like, oh, yeah, I wonder what they're up to, how they're doing. And then sync my computer up. Boom. They're on my list. New patient. It's crazy. So that one I believe.
You dare me to say one?
Okay, number 8. We're moving right along. Number 8 is unlucky rooms.
We don't go in that room.
I've never really heard of this, but do you guys have unlucky rooms in your hospital? All rooms are unlucky eventually. I guess there's places that, don't have room 13s or don't have floor 13s, whatever it is. Another one of these is Friday the 13th, right? You always bad luck if it's Friday the 13th. It'll be like Friday the 13th and a full moon. Oh no, I'm calling in. I don't know. Look this up. There is like no history to why Friday the 13th is an unlucky day or why the number 13 is unlucky. Like they don't know why. I don't know why. Okay, number 9 is if you see a fly in a patient's room, then they might die. I've seen a lot of flies. But I remember this. I remember I was working with a new nurse, and he was like, new to the hospital nurse, and he's like, get that fly out of here, get that fly out of here. And I was like, what? I was like, what's the big deal? And he's like, you got to get a fly out of a room. If you leave that fly in this room, that patient could die. You never heard about that? And I'm like, like I said, I'm not superstitious, but man, I'd be swatting them flies. And number 10 is another one I've never heard of. It's to tie a knot in a dying patient's bed sheet, and that way they'll make it through the night. That sounds like some witch stuff. That sounds like something that would get you in trouble a couple hundred years ago.
She's a witch.
I don't know. And what if you are tying a knot in a patient's bed sheet? And what if they've heard about this before and they didn't know they were dying? And they're like, what are you doing down there? I don't know. Sounds a little witchcrafty to me, but I've never heard about it. I've never heard that one. All right. Well, you guys have a great night. I hope you kind of enjoyed this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and all that YouTube stuff. Thank you. You guys have a great shift.